Alright everybody, here's my daily video and I want to talk about the flow state. What is the flow state and how can we get into that flow state? What does it really mean? Now, today I have spent some time in the flow state and it was during work. I sell toys and board games and stuff like that. And I really thrive when I can serve others. And the flow state basically means that you don't think anymore, or not so much anymore, most of the time not anymore really, and you only act, or react really. There's just like, you can compare it to an intense sports activity, especially like competitive sports, where you're so completely focused on the action that nothing else matters, that nothing else is actually there. And you're really in that game and nothing else. No thinking, no worrying, no fears, no thoughts in the past and the future. You're really just there, fully there. And this is what I call the flow state. And how can you get into that flow state is basically by acting. And I don't mean like acting as in an actor in theater, but as in doing. Doing, not thinking. And again, maybe the sports analogy comes in handy. And I think I'm quoting tennis player Rafael Nadal here. He said that as soon as he starts thinking, he's losing. Because only when you're not thinking, you can be fully present in the now. And it doesn't mean that you don't talk or that you don't listen, that you're not there anymore. But nothing else is there but what's in front of you. For me, example now, it's just the camera, it's just me talking. And then as soon as I drift into thinking of what shall I say, how shall I say it, or I start doubting, like now for example, I lose the flow. And so basically you can be fully there, you can be fully awake, you can be fully able to respond to anything. I think you're even better able to respond to whatever is thrown at you if you're in that flow state. You can also call it a no-mind state, really. The chattering of the monkey mind is gone. And this is really beautiful. And something that you can really get used to, and that you can practice through meditation, for example, or through acting, through put yourself into the action over and over and over again. For example, when it comes to work, for the last 2 days, I've been doing some work, selling merchandise, selling loads of board games and toys and stuff like that. And I had no clue about most of the things that they sold. So very often I would find myself in a situation where I simply don't know the answer, where I have to ask people who've been working in the shop for years and years. And there the fear kicks in of not knowing, and it keeps you from acting, and it keeps you from getting into that flow state. So it's really all a matter of practice, of getting into action and not paying much attention to these fears and doubts that tell you that, oh, you better not approach these people because you might not know the answer. Simply do it, just over and over and over and over again. And this is also how you get into a flow state. It's a little bit like the game when it comes to approaching women, in a club or in other places really. And what the masters of flirt game teach, it is really getting into a consistent routine, a consistent practice of acting, really pushing forward, and not caring about the possibility of failing or even past or future failures. I mean, you can always fail, but they're the ones who let themselves be pulled back or held back through that fear, and others, they do it anyway. They feel the fear and do it anyway. And this is how we really overcome fears. And this is how we get into the flow state. So not just through meditative practices, but also action. And this is also what I experienced in recent 2 days, and I will experience throughout the next month or so. I'm really enjoying working in the shop and providing a service and a value to others. I really thrive at that, and I know that. And the more I get into a routine, the more I simply act, the more I'm in a flow state, the more I can enjoy the whole experience. Well, yeah, that was it for now, I guess. I hope you as well manage to get into a flow state once in a while. And with this, I finish. I stay committed to giving you the tools to empower yourself, and I wish you a beautiful one.